It is 2 a.m. Kong is lying in bed, exhausted, mindlessly scrolling his feed. His bank account has exactly $42 left. A video pops up. A 19-year-old kid is leaning against a neon green Lamborghini in Dubai, holding stacks of cash. If you don't have $1 million by 20, you are lazy. Kong feels a crushing wave of panic. He is already behind. But here's the brutal truth. That Lamborghini is rented, the cash is fake, and your panic is highly profitable. Welcome to the FOMO economy, the fear of missing out. It is the most effective psychological weapon ever designed to keep the middle class completely broke. 10 years ago, you only compared yourself to your neighbors. If Dave got a new lawnmower, you felt a little jealous. But today, the algorithms force you into an unfair competition with the top 0.01% of the entire global population. Every time Kong opens Instagram or TikTok, he is bombarded with 20-year-old crypto traders, dropshippers, and AI gurus living in mansions. The timeline tells him a toxic lie. Success is easy. Everyone else is already doing it, and you are failing because you are standing still. This creates a constant low-level anxiety, a paralyzing fear that time has completely run out. You feel like you missed the boat. But you didn't miss anything. The boat is an illusion. The entire hustle culture industry is an elaborate theater designed to sell you shovels. During the gold rush, the people who got rich weren't the miners digging for gold. The people who got rich were the ones selling the pickaxes. Today's pickaxes are online courses, VIP Discord groups, trading signals, and automated Shopify stores. These fake gurus don't make their money from the business model they're pitching you. They make their money by exploiting your panic. Let's break down the anatomy of a fake flex. They rent a luxury villa on Airbnb for 4 hours. They hire an exotic car service to park a Ferrari in the driveway. And they buy stacks of prop money from Amazon for $20. They film a month's worth of TikTok content in one afternoon, wearing 5 different outfits to make it look like this is their daily life. The script is always exactly the same. I was broke like you. Then I found this one secret AI glitch. Now I make $50,000 a week. It is carefully engineered bait. And Kong, suffocating under his own financial insecurity, swallows the hook completely. He types in his credit card details. He buys the masterclass. He thinks he's buying a shortcut. In reality, he's just funding the influencer's next Airbnb rental. The course is nothing but free YouTube videos repackaged behind a paywall. But the trap doesn't stop there. Once you're inside the hustle ecosystem, the manipulation gets much darker. You join their exclusive Discord server, and the first thing you see are screenshots of other people making thousands of dollars. Just closed a 5K deal, up 300% on this crypto trade today. The FOMO hits you like a freight train. What they don't tell you is that 90% of those screenshots are manipulated or posted by fake accounts run by the creators themselves to build hype. But your brain can't process the lie. Your brain only sees that the entire world is moving forward and you are being left behind. So Kong starts taking desperate risks. He stops thinking logically. He needs money right now, immediately, today. He dumps his last $1,000 into a highly leveraged crypto trade based on a VIP signal. He buys into the hype of an overpriced meme coin. He stares at the chart. The line goes up slightly. A hit of dopamine floods his brain. I'm finally doing it. I'm going to be rich. And then the inevitable happens. The creators dump their bags. The chart violently crashes, a 90% loss in a matter of seconds. Kong is completely wiped out. The $1,000 he needed for rent is gone. The influencers took his money, and now they will post another video bragging about their profits. The Matrix is designed to exploit your impatience. Wealth is built slowly over decades of disciplined investing, but the algorithms have hijacked your attention span. Nobody wants to watch a video about buying index funds and waiting 20 years. They want the dopamine hit of immediate returns. They want to bypass the work. And that is exactly why the middle class is a permanent target. The tech giants know that a panicked monkey is a profitable monkey, so they constantly remind you of what you don't have. You feel like a failure for working a 9-to-5. The influencers tell you that a regular job is modern slavery. They mock you for earning an honest, steady income. They brainwash you into thinking that stability is for losers. But what they hide from you is the survivorship bias. For every one teenager that gets lucky with a dropshipping store, 10,000 other people lose their entire life savings trying to replicate the exact same process. The algorithm doesn't show you the failures. It only shows you the extreme outliers. This completely distorts your perception of reality. You think the finish line is at 21 years old. If you aren't retired by then, you believe the game is over. This is the exact mindset that Wall Street wants you to have, because desperate people make terrible financial decisions. Desperate people take out loans with 20% interest rates to buy a BMW they cannot afford just to look successful on Instagram. Desperate people max out their credit cards to buy designer clothes, creating a phantom lifestyle built entirely on toxic debt. They're trading their actual future for temporary digital validation from strangers who do not care about them. The FOMO economy is a meat grinder. It chews up the middle class, extracts their savings, and spits them out with zero assets. Kong looks at his empty bank account. He feels ashamed. He feels like a loser. But that shame is completely artificial. It was manufactured in a boardroom by executives who need you to hate your life so you will buy their escape plans. You are not behind. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. The only race you're losing is the one they invented. But recognizing the trap is only the first step. The Matrix doesn't just stop at fake success. Once you stop comparing yourself to the 19-year-old scammers, you have to face the real financial traps waiting for you in your 30s and 40s. So, Kong turns 30. He stops watching crypto gurus. He decides to be an adult and play by society's rules. Society tells him exactly what the American dream is. Get married, buy a new car, and get a huge mortgage. But what society doesn't tell you is that this standard path is actually a highly optimized pipeline to extract your wealth. It starts with the wedding industry, the ultimate social pressure trap. The average American wedding now costs $35,000. People literally start their new lives together by going into massive debt for one-day party. Why? Because Instagram and Pinterest have convinced them that if they don't spend a fortune, they don't really love each other. Corporations have successfully weaponized romance. They mark up flowers by 400% the second you mention the word wedding. You drain your savings to impress 150 guests who will forget what the chicken tasted like by next Tuesday. Congratulations, you are now married and you're starting the hardest financial decade of your life at negative $35,000. But the Matrix doesn't give you time to breathe. Now that you're married, you need a safe, reliable car for your future family. Enter the auto loan trap, the single greatest destroyer of wealth for the middle class. Kong walks into a dealership. He wants a reliable used car. But the salesman doesn't sell cars, he sells monthly payments. Why buy an old sedan when you can drive a new luxury SUV for just $700 a month? Kong's brain calculates the $700. He thinks, I can afford that. He completely ignores the total price of $50,000. Dealerships have stretched auto loans to 72 and even 84 months. That's 7 years of paying for a depreciating asset. The moment Kong drives the SUV off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. He's instantly underwater. He owes the bank $50,000, but the car is only worth $40,000. He's trapped in a negative equity prison. And why did he buy the SUV? To commute 45 minutes every day to a job he hates just to pay for the SUV. This is the infinite loop of the modern worker. You buy expensive things to cope with the stress of earning the money to buy those things. But the Matrix isn't done with him yet, because what good is a new marriage and a new SUV if you don't have a house to put them in? Enter the housing trap, and specifically the deadly disease known as lifestyle creep. Kong goes to the bank. He gets pre-approved for a $400,000 mortgage, but his real estate agent takes him to see a $500,000 house. It's a little over budget, but it has granite countertops. Your friends will be so jealous. Kong signs a 30-year contract that he barely understands. He is now house poor. The bank owns him, the property taxes own him, the homeowners association owns him. He thought buying a house was the ultimate sign of financial success. Instead, it became a massive hungry beast that eats his paycheck every month. When the water heater breaks, he has no emergency fund. So, what does he do? He pulls out the plastic. Credit card debt is the final nail in the coffin of the middle class. The interest rates are 25%. It's legalized robbery. He puts the $2,000 repair on the card. He tells himself he'll pay it off next month. He never does. Then comes the psychological trap. I work so hard, I deserve a vacation. So he puts a $4,000 trip to Hawaii on the credit card. He's financing his leisure time at 25% interest. This is the illusion of the modern middle class. They look incredibly rich on the outside. Big house, 2 cars in the driveway, nice vacations, designer clothes. But pull back the curtain and it is entirely funded by banks, lenders, and predatory interest rates. One missed paycheck, one medical emergency, one layoff, and the entire house of cards collapses instantly. By the time Kong reaches 40, the trap has fully closed. The FOMO from his 20s pushed him into the debt trap of his 30s. He's making $100,000 a year,
but he feels poorer than when he was a broke student because $30,000 goes to taxes, $24,000 goes to the mortgage, $10,000 goes to the cars, $15,000 goes to credit cards and insurance. The system is designed to extract 100% of your labor. They want you earning just enough to survive, but owing just enough to never quit. This is exactly why the middle class is angry. They did everything they were supposed to do. They followed the rules, they went to college, they bought a house, they got married, and their reward is decades of inescapable financial stress. And now, as Kong enters his 50s, the final boss of the Matrix reveals itself: retirement. Or rather, the terrifying illusion of it, because the government and Wall Street have completely destroyed the value of the money he spent 30 years saving. Inflation is the silent tax, the hidden mechanism that ensures you can never truly clock out.
You are not supposed to win this game. The board is tilted. The dice are loaded. If you try to keep up with the 20-year-old influencers, you lose. If you play by society's rules and buy the big house, you lose. So what is the alternative? How do you break a cycle that has been perfectly engineered to destroy your wealth at every single stage of life? The answer requires you to commit financial heresy. You have to actively reject the American dream. You have to declare war on your own ego. To escape the financial matrix, Kong realizes he has to become invisible. He must completely detach his ego from his spending. He sells the luxury SUV that was draining $700 a month. He buys a 10-year-old reliable used Toyota in cash. Society looks at his old car and thinks he is failing. The 20-year-old crypto influencers laugh at him. But Kong doesn't care, because while the guy in the sports car is drowning in $80,000 of toxic debt, Kong has exactly 0 payments. He ignores the real estate agent's pressure. Instead of buying a $500,000 McMansion to impress his friends, he buys a modest house well below his means. The psychological shift is immediate. By intentionally lowering his overhead, Kong starts building the ultimate weapon: FU money. When you have 0 consumer debt and 6 months of expenses saved, the entire power dynamic of the Matrix collapses. If Kong's boss demands he work the weekend or threatens to fire him, Kong doesn't panic. He isn't desperate anymore. He can walk away. He owns his time. He has successfully bought his freedom back from Wall Street. Meanwhile, what happens to the people who played the status game? The illusion always shatters. The 19-year-old dropshipper gets exposed as a fraud and goes bankrupt. The guy who financed the $50,000 SUV misses 2 payments, and the bank repossesses his car in the middle of the night. True wealth is completely silent. It is the money you do not spend. It is the portfolio of index funds quietly compounding in the background. Wall Street and the algorithms want you to believe that wealth is what you wear, what you drive, and what you post. They need you to believe this lie, because a middle class that saves money and ignores social pressure is a middle class that cannot be exploited. You have a choice today. You can keep running on the FOMO treadmill, exhausting yourself to impress strangers on the internet. Or you can step off. You can delete the fake gurus. You can cancel the wedding loans. You can lower your overhead. Stop rushing. Stop panicking. You are not behind schedule. Wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Turn off the noise, reclaim your sanity, and start buying your freedom back, $1 at a time. The Matrix will try to pull you back in. They will tell you that you are missing out, but you are awake now. You see the strings attached to the puppets. Let me know in the comments, what is the worst financial advice society or social media ever tried to sell you? Kong reads every comment. We are mapping out their traps to destroy them completely. The algorithm hates this kind of truth. They want you watching brain-dead content and clicking on ads. So if this video woke you up, smash the like button into pieces to force this message into the timeline. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and join the army of the unbrainwashed. Stop playing their game. Take back your life. Kong will see you in the next video.